How's it going, everyone? Unretired here, and today I wanted to talk about the approach to crafting, how you should be approaching crafting if you are a new player to the game. As a veteran to the Repopulation, not only myself but my fellow players will be able to tell you that the single most important thing not to do is to overwhelm yourself by wanting to do everything. And when I say everything, I mean pretty much everything. There are many crafting skill sets in the game. Armor crafting, artillery, carpentry, chemistry, all the way up to veterinary medicine. My goodness, I have a hard time saying that one sometimes. So, how should a new player approach this? So, you should really, he or she should really be able to understand the basics of crafting in the first place. So, what do I mean by that? What do I mean by that is that you need to go into the world and start gathering like materials, whatever you kill, whatever you gather. It could be any kind of flour, it could be hide, it could be the meat, it could be contaminated water, such as this as right here. You could be gathering wood, any kind of flour, minerals, ores, you name it. The game pretty much has it, even the fish. Right? So how do you approach all of this? Well, like I said, you go into the world, you gather any kind of material, and you learn what you can do with that material. Now, like, this is my second character. This is actually the character that I transferred from West Coast, but originally I had my character on West Coast was pretty much decked out in crafting. I pretty much knew everything, unless they actually change, unless the devs actually change the recipe and whatnot. Then you have to take a look at it again and see what you can do. But I pretty much had everything. No, I don't want to say maxed out, but like in the thousands. And if I were going to recipes, minimum, I would have to say minimum they would be at least 500 to 600. Now, you're probably saying, holy crap, this guy has no life, whereas he's been spending so much time. I was one of the main crafters on West Coast, so I did entertain the fact that I would get the materials and I would just craft and send it back to whomever would send it to me. Now, that being said, I don't expect you to be in a nation like that. I'm in my current nation right now, which is the Nomads on the East Coast server, and like, I don't expect them to hand me down all the material. I can ask, hey guys, you got this this ore, this mineral, and if they can, they'll provide it. If not, no, I'll just go in the world and farm it. Now, I'll just give a quick example of how you should be approaching crafting if you're a newbie. So you gather your stuff, let's say a gold ore, all right, and they will be of different grade value. If you look at the bottom right of the screen, you'll see that grade value per stack from D9 up to B6. Now, the better the grade, which goes up to A9, so the higher it goes, the better the grade is. The better grade material you're using, the higher quality end item you'll be able to make. Now, that being said, you have to remember that you can't just make I can't just say, oh, I'm gonna make some distilled water A quality with C and D stuff. No, it just doesn't work that way. You need to have good quality materials to make one good quality end user item, okay? But you need to grind out first. So find out first what would you like to do. So if I go look at gold ore, I'll shift right click and I'll go into the database. Now, the database is your best friend, all right, in the game, apart from other players. I mean, it's the database will tell you everything you need to know regarding recipes, the materials needed, the grade, because some materials need to be a bit higher for that for an item result. So let's go take a look here. So gold ore, it's all used in mining. So these are the item results, and these are the names of basically the recipe. So let's go take a look at plate metal fabrication. So we'll take a look at plate metal fabrication, and it is in mining. It'll tell you that you need ore, you need mineral, and you need a flux to give you that plate metal. And the minimum grade is F. So you can use them. You can use like very low grade materials, which is F, to the highest grade, to make plate metal bars. Now, those plate metal bars can be used for something else as well. So you have to research again. Okay, I'll go in plate metal bars, and I see what they're used for. They're used in installations, artillery, metalworking. What else? I'm pretty sure they're used for something else but pretty much they're used for metalworking and installations, as you can see. Firearms crafting, armor crafting, melee weapons crafting, which is a very small percentage of the amount of recipes that it can be used at. Now, you're probably looking at this and you're like, holy moly, like this is way too many recipes. How am I supposed to master everything? Well, the trick is don't master everything. Try to master, I would have to say, let's say, try to master pharmaceuticals. Okay, and you grind up a certain recipes. You find out what the items are, and with those items, for certain all the recipes, obviously you'll need to use recipes from other crafting professions. Okay, so, and you'll always have to make sure that you research what you need. So if like gas production, if you right click on it, you need a fish meat and buffer solution. Well, what's a buffer solution? So you need to click on that, and it'll tell you what a buffer solution is. So it can be a borat, which is something that you make. It's just another item that you can have. Carbonate buffer solutions, oxide buffer solutions, so on and so forth. Xylene, cyanol, which is very easy to make. I would suggest that one. It's with fishing. So yeah, just specialize yourself in one specific profession, and use those multiple recipes that are needed in other professions to master that one profession. Okay, and once you think that you actually mastered that profession, then move on to something else. Try something new. Maybe there's certain items on the market that are very sought out for, and you know where to get the item one in the world. You know how to craft it. You know how to make good grades for that item as well. So you'll be able to make yourself a shop in the market. You can trade those items for other materials with other players. You can help your nation mates, so on and so forth. So what I'm asking you new players to do is go into the world. Once you're in the Repopulation, learn the basics of crafting. Go in the world, gather those materials, kill some other players, some other people from other factions, if you can. I'm not asking you to, just try it out as well. Gather materials, see what the materials are used for. Try out the recipes. Maybe you'll be like, oh, this is easy. I can do this, and you'll just be doing it and doing it and doing it, and afterwards you'll notice that you've really mastered maybe one recipe in a certain profession, right? Like distilled water is a perfect example of a recipe that everyone will be mastering, because you need distilled water for pretty much, I would have to say, 75% of every recipe in crafting at the moment. Okay, so, or you can even try to specialize yourself in certain recipes that most people wouldn't really think of going into. So I'll give, for example, incendiary production. So for this, you'll need a desiccant, you'll need a combustible, and obviously you will need a component, which is the chemical salt. So what does this make? So I right click on it, and it's used as a result for a liquid axamilith, the liquid something, very long names, sorry, and cyclotrinataman, But yeah, those are the main products, and it filters up to the to this name exactly. So let's call it HMTD and RTX. Those are main products, and you can take a look afterwards what they're used for. Artillery, chemistry. Not too many people might will go into artillery unless you are in a big nation and you want to help out make your base. So of course you'll need artillery. So that's about it, guys. Just wanted to go through the basics, you know, give a bit of advice on to the new players on what you should be doing. So take it slow, learn what you have, learn the recipes, okay, and go and do something more advanced once you feel more comfortable with those recipes. We're not talking about 30, like a couple of minutes and learning all this stuff, guys. It will take you hours upon hours to really understand the basics, and once you understand the basics, then I would have to say you'll be spending way more hours crafting. It's very addicting. So that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. If you have any suggestions as to what you'd like to see for the repopulation, put your comments below. I'll be glad to accommodate you on those. I am currently finishing up my first aid crafting guide as well, so stay tuned on that. And that note, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.